All right, family. Peace and blessings, love and light. Is your brother. I'm the Amanashi, also known as I'm the Omnis, aka the Nature God family. And we are here because we about to build on some historical or either scientific literacy. Again, 7+ years independent researcher. All right. Now, the Western ideology, like I said, some things I agree with, some things I disagree with, right? But a lot of things on the internet really don't catch my attention. I'm strictly educational type of guy. I am very spiritual, but at the same time, I'm not the type of spookism spiritual person. My spiritual beliefs are based on knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to it because we ain't got all day. I'm gonna never stop doing this, family. Nobody gonna make me stop doing this. All right. So let me get to the joint. My banners. You already know what time it is. OmniVision EDU. All right. Again, to show your support. Because there we go. All right, yeah. Again, to show your support, cashout.com, $ Omnis Natura 360 LLC. All right. So the haters can come on in and learn something. Because I ain't seeing too many people that really love me, so I assume they're a hater till they prove themselves otherwise. But for the people that are souls who are waking up, who are conscious, who really have good intent, it's just hard to find people with good intent, family. Like, that's why I can't deal. I just said it on the live, like, personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm somewhat of a loner, family, because I just can't get with every vibe. But anyway, right now we're about to build on nature versus man, the Western corruption. And like I said in the live, it's pretty much like a duality. You know what I'm saying? It's night and day. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad. It's up and down. It's natural, unnatural. You feel me? And just like pork, where people develop, what they call it, flatworms, a trenchinalia. You feel me? Pork is bad. They eat shit. They eat feces. All right? And so just because you grew up doing it, that means you should keep doing it. That means that that's okay to do it because the people that they told you to do it, now you want to get trenchinalia. And so, like I said, there's a such thing as natural versus unnatural. My point is that pigs are domesticated, hybridized species. They come from the warhog. The warhog is the wild version of the domesticated pig. Humans should not be eating any type of species or organism that has had its genetic information changed or altered. And so that's my point, family. There will be negative consequences. Grapefruit, we're going to talk about it, family. Negative consequences. Albino species like white rice, right? The Russell mashed potato. You feel me? There was a study that came out showing that this was causing people to develop cancer, right? When you look at the tobacco plant, it was modified in 1983 for commercial purposes, right? And you look on the back of the packet, what it tell you? may cause cancer. May cause cancer, dumbass. Then why is it saying that? Because it is unnatural. That's what I was trying to tell my brother in the bill, man. Like, bro, if that shit ain't natural, bro, it's gonna be a negative effect, bro, almost every time. And so that's my philosophy, family. Nature is the source of creation. Nature is abundance. Nature is where there is life, right? When you look at the domestication of our society, right, and you look at the manufacturing, and you look at you look at all these toxins and fumes that come from industrialism and factories, and all that, and then you look at places like I said, New York, it's not too many trees, it's not too many animals. You know what I'm saying? It's wherever there's a big city, you don't see animals, you don't see an ecosystem, you don't see life. When you go to the South, when you go to North Carolina, South Carolina, you hear me? That's where the life is. That's where nature is. That's where the animals are. That's where things are more, lush and things are thriving. And so, that's a lack of oxygen just being in the city right there, because it's not enough trees, family. That's just basic 1, 2, 3. All right. So anyway, let's get to it. I want to talk about the domestication of species. Like I said, no one would never stop me from doing what I've been doing for 7+ years. How I'm fake. These people fake, man. If somebody that's fake can't fake for that long. But anyway. All right. Need to share my screen. Present. Give me 1 second, family. You want to make a donation to show your support and you have a positive intent, PayPal.com/LaceyJones1. All right? That's PayPal, secure payments, secure donation. And again, Cash App. Let me go ahead and show this so y'all can see it. So y'all can donate and show your support if you have positive intent. If you don't, fuck off and get off my page. A lot of clowns out here, goofies. Now, I'm trying to be pleasant because I'm normally the nice guy. But I see and I can sense and I can feel, family. And then people steal from me too. They've stolen ideas from me. Like they get around people, then they talk about what they learned, and you're not even giving credit that you learned it from Brother Omni Amanashi. That's where you got the idea from. And so I don't like to be egotistical, family, but I don't like for people to steal credit. I don't like that. Because you're really in admiration. You're in admiration of this person. You stole their idea, and then you got glory and you got admiration from others because you knew that it was value. You knew the person knew what they did. Somebody that I know that's close to me that did that. I ain't gonna say who it is, but we talked about the conversation. Person act like they really weren't too interested, but then I seen them on Facebook and they was talking about the same subject, had a whole thread up there, plenty of people up there building. And I'm like, man, we were just talking about that. You learned that from me, bro. Give me my credit, man. Don't let me teach that long and I won't get no credit, man. That's crazy. Give credit what's credit is due. That's fair. That's just. All right. So let me get my screen going. Invite guests. Share screen. Yeah, I need to share it. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it. I want to make sure we can both see it. All right. So now it can be seen on the page. All right. All right. Hybrid. This is one of the things I wanted to discuss. What is a hybrid? Right? We're talking about natural versus unnatural, man-made versus something that's naturally occurring. So hybrid, the offspring of two plants or animals of different species. Key word, different species. They're not the same, or varieties, such as a mule, a hybrid of a donkey, and a horse. So a mule is a basic example of hybridization, right? Which is done by man-made means. I'm just saying hybridization is not something that is naturally occurring. That's one thing I wanted to emphasize on. So let's go to the next slide. I want to give y'all no bull jive like other people be doing. I'm gonna give y'all something to think about. And that's all my channel is about, challenging people to think, family. All right, exit the full screen. All right, now I want to go to this slide right here. I'm not stopping until I'm done because I know I'm the best on the internet. I ain't trying to hear what y'all talking about. Share this tab. All right. So just like I said, a mule is a hybrid animal, specifically the result of a cross between a male donkey, a jack, and a female horse, right? Okay. All right. So we know that mules are real. One of the things that I thought was interesting about mules is they're somewhat infertile. They cannot reproduce at the same rate as a horse or a donkey, which are their predecessors, right? They wouldn't exist without the wild version. But the wild version doesn't have those reproductive issues. But let me just put it in right quick. Do mules have reproductive issues? All right, you see that? And let me share the screen. It's already being shared. All right, it says right here, yes, mules generally have reproductive issues because of their odd number of chromosomes. And we know that a mismatch in chromosomes also results in what? Down syndrome, right? And that's a negative genetic mutation that inhibits the gene from fully functionally expressing itself. All right? So yes, mules say they suffer from the reproductive issues of the odd number of chromosomes, making it difficult to produce viable sperm or eggs. So again, my point to my brother who I was speaking to on social media, brother, hybridization is not natural. Hybridization harms the genome. Hybridization is a mutation. Right? It's going to cause genetic mutations and confuse the chromosomes as to what instructions should be carried out. And so that is the point. So let's keep moving on. We're not going to stay in one spot too long. We're going to share this tab. Like I was saying earlier, for those who feel like I'm just coming with stuff out the ass. Now, this is one of the things that I had to remember too, family. I take medication for epilepsy, right? On my medication bottle, back in the day, I remember there always used to be a label. It was yellow, and it said on that medication bottle, do not take medication with alcohol nor with grapefruit. And I'm like, man, there's plenty of fruit that exists. Why grapefruit? Why would grapefruit disturb someone's medication? All right. And it says right here, yes, grapefruit is a hybrid citrus fruit. All right. It's a hybrid. So that means that it was crossed from two different species. It says right here, the grapefruit, like many cultivated citrus species, is a hybrid. In its case of sweet orange and pomelo, grapefruit originated, they're saying, as a natural hybrid, but I disagree. Hybrids are never natural. One ancestor of the grapefruit was the Jamaican sweet orange. So this must have been one of the predecessors that it was crafted from. Citrus sinensis, itself an ancient hybrid of Asian origin. The other was the Indonesian pomelo. All right. So like I said, to my understanding, these techniques, these practices are unnatural, family. All right. Now, let's go. Let's keep going. But I wanted to see before we get out of this tab, real fast. Watch this. What is the pH balance of grapefruit? Grapefruit juice typically has a pH range of 2.9 to 3.75, which classifies it as acidic. This means that grapefruit is more acidic than neutral water, which has a pH of 7. Yeah, that's way less. That's like almost like battery acid. Yeah, so it has a horrible pH. Now, pH, for those who don't know, stands for potential hydrogen. So when people dehydrate in the sun, they're dehydrating because they lack the presence of the element hydrogen. Okay? pH stands for potential hydrogen. Now, the pH scale is showing you how much hydrogen is present in an object or in a substance or solution, right? And so the scale ranges from 0 to 14. And this grapefruit is 2.9 to 3.75. Acidic. It's a hybrid organism and there's negative biological effects. It's just one of the things I wanted to emphasize on. So 1 second, family. Let me see what we got going on. So let me share this tab right here. I'm sharing the tabs in different order because, I just want to I want to freestyle naturally. Share this tab. All right, so now we share this tab. Yep, sharing this tab to StreamYard. All right. Nature, right here by Oxford Dictionary, one of the most oldest dictionaries that we have. So since it's the most popular, let's see what we have. Nature, right? The phenomena of the physical world collectively, including plants, animals, the landscape, and other features and products of the earth as opposed to humans or human creations, right? For people who don't know what natural is, a phenomena of the physical world collectively, including plants, animals, the landscape, and other features and products of the earth as opposed to humans or human creations. There's a difference. There's a difference, family. All right. Now let's keep going. We ain't got time for the goofy, the goof troop. All right, let me see a classic. Okay, so let's go to this page. I'm about to share another page. All right. So here are a list of hybrids, just for you guys can go and do your own research, right? So it says a classic example of natural hybrid is a Wholphin, which is a cross between a false killer whale and a common bottlenose dolphin. So here's a Wholphin. I just click on it so you guys can see it. A Wholphin, what the hell is that? Making some crazy shit. This hybrid is a result of mating between a false killer whale and a common bottlenose dolphin. And then they have the growler bear. The growler bear. Have you guys ever heard of that? Let me see. Go back. Hold on 1 second, family. Oh, yeah. Okay, go. All right, let me go to it. So y'all can kind of see how I look. I ain't mean to get off track, but yeah, we back. The growler bear, also known as a Paisley bear. These are the offspring of polar bears and grizzly bears. All right. So the grizzlies, they live more towards the equatorial regions, and the polar bears live, that's why they call them polar bears, the North Pole, South Pole. Coy wolf. This hybrid results from the interbreeding of coyotes and wolves, often found in areas where their habitats overlap. Hybrid results from the interbreeding of coyotes and wolves. So that's a coyote and a wolf, a coy wolf. Goofy, man, listen, man. Liger. So let me show you what it looked like, y'all. So you got to at least be able to see it. So I pulled it up in the right-hand corner. That's a picture from Wikipedia. And then the liger, right, which is not strictly natural. Look at them. See, they put that in there. Look at that. Wow, not strictly natural. Yeah, we know it ain't natural because y'all made it. Y'all made that crazy ass shit. Ligers are the offspring of a male lion and a female tiger, and are sometimes bred in captivity. See, they want to make it seem natural hybridization because hybridization has occurred in the human genome. And that's why you have original humans, you have native, you have aborigines. That's what I was telling my homeboy, like, right? Afrikaners, when I say African descent, that's just a name of a colonizer who colonized the land of Africa at a certain time. So they turn people who look like me as African Americans, Africans, Afro-Asians, Afro-Latinos, and all of this. But it's really a gene. And I was just telling them that, those are just semantics, bro. It's about being indigenous, native. To be indigenous and to be native, you have to be a natural organism, a natural species. You can't have hybridization, the RH factor, all that in your DNA, man. That ain't the same. That's something different. That's why they got colonists and then you got natives. The native bloodline of people traces back further than people with mutation. It traces back further than people with mutation. That's why you got them coming in at a certain time because they didn't exist, family. This was done in the human genome. In the human genome, y'all gonna look up the big head scientist in the story of Yakub, right? With the Igigi, how he's sitting on the wheel of creation, spinning his wheel, right? And but below are small little people that he's creating from this wheel. All right. And then we see in the genetic studies. And so I believe it may be some truth to it. And they got a zonkey. This is a hybrid cross between a zebra and a donkey, sometimes occurring in nature. Sometimes it do occur in nature or not. Look, it's fake, family, I'm telling you. But anyway, it is a weird species. A zebra and a donkey. It's crazy as hell. So I believe that genetics, family, are something that an organism, it adapts. The genetics of an organism adapts to its environment. And so when you change an organism's genetics, it's changing the factors and the characteristics that the species need to survive in that particular environment. Because nature is intelligent, right? So why would people want to do a thing like that? Right? Then they got the camel, right? That's a hybrid between the camel and a llama. So like I said, they're changing the genetics of species that have developed these characteristics over hundreds of thousands of years. And so for you to change that, that doesn't represent someone who is intelligent. All right. And so let me see. What else did I want to tackle? We talked about a pH balance, right? So let me just share this. Stop sharing. Share this tab instead. All right. Yeah, share this tab. All right. So remember we was talking about the pH scale earlier, right? We was talking about that. And then what hit my mind was I should show the people how there's a correlation between the pH scale and disease and sickness. All right. Remember I told y'all about the scale being 0 to 14? 7 it being neutral because it's half the amount. So the pH imbalance of the human body, either too acidic, acidosis, or too alkaline, they call it alkalosis, it's not healthy and can lead to various health complications. Human blood pH should remain slightly alkaline, see? Leaning towards alkalinity is good, see? Typically between 7.35 and 7.45. A pH outside of this range can impair metabolic processes and lead to conditions like metabolic acidosis, metabolic alkalosis, respiratory acidosis, and respiratory alkalosis. All right. So anything that is below 7 is typically leading the human body into a state of dis-ease, of disease. All right. And so that's why I was saying, with a fruit that is 3.5 pH, how do you think that's going to affect your body? I had a friend of mine that went on a grapefruit diet. Right, we was talking about the grapefruit earlier, and she was following somebody on, I think, IG. I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not trying to call nobody out of none of that. Just chopping it up. And I wanted to use this example, and it was a person who was like a health guru, right? So they're selling products, they're working out, they're exercising, and they're getting people to believe into their movement, their fitness and health and all of this, but the person doesn't study chemistry, family. So I said anybody could try to sell sea moss. You ain't study chemistry. You just know what people have told you. That's what I'm saying. You got to give the real people credit, man. But anyway, family, like the grapefruit diet caused a friend of mine to get sick. And I was telling her, like, look, grapefruit is a hybrid. Grapefruit is acidic. Grapefruit will harm your immune system. Grapefruit is like completely like just overall bad, little like 86 this shit. But anyway, of course, I'm not a bully, even though some people may, try to make up fake stuff. But anyway, she went and did her thing, and then she got sick, look. She got sick, family. And so I'm like, look, I told you not to eat that damn grapefruit. And we both kind of laughed about it because, hey, she got the fire sign energy, but we both kind of laughed about it. But I'm like, look, please never try. I'm not letting you do. Matter of fact, you never doing it. If I see you with a grapefruit, we're going to have some problems, love. We're not doing that. And so I wanted to just share this tab. All right, genetically modified organism. All right, now I've kind of built on this topic before. Somebody trying to call me while I'm building, while I'm trying to be progressive, but it's all good. A genetically modified organism, GMO, is a plant, animal, or microorganism whose DNA has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. Remember earlier, we was just talking about that. This alteration often involves the introduction of new genes or modifying existing ones. It's done to change the organism's characteristics, family. You see? So GMO can be a plant, an animal, a microorganism, and even in humans. Okay? Because we're all made of atoms, we're all made of molecules, we're all made of a certain biological chemistry. And we all are affected by the laws of physics, family. Like, this shit is real. I can't make this stuff up. All right. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to build real quick about that. And that's about 30 minutes of my time. Again, before we close out, make sure y'all show the page some love. Like I said, I'm a beast, family. I got screenshots of people from over the years showing me hella love. Like, bro, I never seen somebody break down the topic of 666 and compare it to and show the implications of the periodic table. Like, bro, this video I've never seen a video like this. And so that's what I look for, family. I'm not looking to be thrown in a bunch with everybody else. I already know I'm different. And that's fine. As long as I'm not a bad person, then I'm good. I just want to be free in my mind. I want to be free in my spirit, right? I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just trying to be a positive influence on my community and on the world. The world needs to evolve. And if anybody is holding the world back from evolving, they need to be removed. You in the way. That's what we call that. We call that in the way. Y'all niggas in the way now. If you ain't got nothing going on. So anyway, I'm gonna close this screen share. All right. Like I said, Omnis Mature 360 LLC. Anybody who makes donations, you already know we're gonna shout y'all out. We're gonna show y'all some love. And if you got anything, salute. If you got anything that you want it to be talked about public, then you can hit me up anytime. omnismature360@gmail.com, family. All right. So we lit. It ain't no station like this online, family. And I got way more concepts. And if you don't know, you're about to know. Just like Biggie. You already know what time it is. Carolina, you know what I'm saying? And C, the Nature Guy, Omnivision EDU, Black News 720, man. It ain't nobody like us, man. Research Omni Amanashi and see what pop up. On God. But anyway, yeah, salute. We out. Love to the brothers. Love to my sisters. You know what I'm saying? You already know. Happy Mother's Day to the real mothers, to the real queens out there. The real queens who have that divine feminine nature of nurturing and helping to support and sustain life, because it wouldn't be possible without you, Mother Goddess. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be possible without the divine feminine energy. And don't let the Western culture rob you of your mind, and rob you of your body, and rob you of your spirit, because you deserve a good man. A lot of, there are good women, I believe, that's out here, but a lot of people, they just, it's the brainwashing. It's the media. It's the friends who think a certain way. This guy, that guy. There's no families anymore. And so anyway, I'm about family. I'm about happiness, and just what's done on the left got to get done on the right. That's the only way we're going to get it back on the right track, family. So anyway, Omnivision EDU. It's your brother. Salute. We out. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace and blessings.